Hello friends, this is Manish Chauhan from Jagoinvestor.com. Today I want to talk about 5 changes in PPF rules which has recently happened. So on December 12th, 2019, PPF Scheme 2019 has been introduced. So there have been many changes, the whole wording has been changed for PPF rules. So I'll be talking about 5 of those, okay, which are the main ones. So let us start. So the first change is related to premature closure of PPF account. Can you close your PPF account before the maturity period? So what was the old rule? Let's look at that. So what the old rule said is that you can close your PPF account after 5 years in 3 conditions. What were those 3 conditions? The first one was death of account holder. Second was higher education of account holder. Third was life-threatening illness of family members. In these 3 cases, you could withdraw the money earlier. Now, with the new rule, what has happened? All the old rules are intact. There is no changes. But there are 2 additions to the old rules. First one is now one can also withdraw for the higher education of children. So it's a great thing. If you have PPF account and it is more than 5 years old and you have your kids' education goal coming up, you can withdraw the money for that goal. The next one is a big one. It is you can close your PPF account and withdraw the money when the residency status changes. So when an NRI becomes a resident or a resident becomes an NRI. Okay, so the rule says change in residency. So it's a great news for all those NRIs especially who are coming back to India and now they want to close their PPF account after 5 years. They don't want to continue for 15 years. So they can do that now. Okay. What is the second change? Second change is related to NRI investors. Are they allowed to open PPF account or not? So what was the old rule? Old rule said that NRIs can't open a fresh PPF account, but if they have a PPF account already, they can continue it till maturity. After maturity, they can't extend it. Now there has been some change now. What the new rule says is that it is actually silent on this, like it does not talk about anything about NRIs or residents. So what it means is technically that NRIs can now open PPF account and NRIs can also extend PPF account after maturity. So it's like there is no distinction now. Okay, but there is one point here. While opening the PPF account, there has to be a declaration given that you are a resident of India. Now it's it's a little problematic point. So technically it is still not clear that how it will work. So I suggest that let some time pass, there will be clarity on this. But one thing is sure, that NRIs can now at least extend the PPF account after maturity even if they are NRIs. Okay, what is the third rule? Third change: now the deposits are allowed in the multiple of 50 rupees. So the old rule was this: deposits were allowed in the multiple of rupees 5 and there were maximum 12 deposit one can do in a year. Now that is changed. Now deposits can be done in the multiple of 50 rupees and now there is no limit on how many times you can deposit in a year. Okay, that's a small change. Now fourth change: PPF can't be extended if there is no deposits made after maturity. Now this is a big one. So let me clarify what was the old rule. So earlier what happened, on maturity, when the PPF account matured, you had 2 options. One option was that you could have said that I want to operate my PPF account with deposits. In that case, you could deposit every year if you wanted, or you could say that I do not want to deposit any money. So in that case, it was called as no deposits, continuing your PPF account without deposits. And you could do that every 5 years. So every 5 years you had to choose whether you want to go with deposits or without deposits. Okay, so if in 1 year if you said no deposits, next year you can say that I can now deposit. But now what has happened, the new rule says that after the maturity, if there are no deposits for 1 year, continuous 1 year, after that you can never deposit in PPF account. Okay, so that's the change. But you can still continue your PPF account. So if you have some money in PPF account, you can let it continue for as long as you want and you can earn interest on it. Okay, so this is one change. I know a lot of senior citizens, what they used to do is they used to deposit in their PPF account after 1 or 2 or 3 years. Now this will change for them. Okay, if they don't deposit in 1 year after the maturity, they will not be able to deposit after that. Fifth change is very simple. interest on loan is reduced by 1% now. So what was the old rule? Old rule said that if you want to take a loan on against PPF, then the interest rate which will be charged will be 2% more than the PPF return. Now that is changed to 1%. So if the PPF rate is 7.9%, and if you take a loan, your interest rate will be 1% more, which means 8.9%. One more thing, now there are new PPF forms. Earlier there were form A, B, C, D and blah blah blah. There were many forms, but now it is replaced by 5 PPF forms, which is form 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So these were some of the major changes which happened recently in PPF account. Thanks a lot. Please share this video so that more and more PPF holders can know about these changes. Thanks a lot. Bye.